It's the beginning of the season, and I'm gonna show you my display that I built. Okay, I'm gonna put it together and show you what's going on. So I built it as a back wall display, and I think you might like it. I think it's pretty decent. And any suggestions anybody has for me, I'd appreciate it, but I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is I have a backdrop here, so I can put my French cleats on it, so I can hang things on this. And then it's a 6-foot table with a tablecloth that goes pretty much to the ground, okay? And one of the elements that you should incorporate in displays is levels. So I just have these old Pilsner Urquell lunch boxes that I've been keeping on for a while. I'm gonna eventually build a real wooden one, but as it stands right now, this is my temporary thing. So I just got a couple pieces of laminate flooring that I put in here. And then I hang another tablecloth. Okay. I have some pretty well established holes in this board, so I'm gonna add my French cleats now. As you can see, it's a bit wonky doing this, so I'm just gonna put the rest of them on. All right, so pretty much all the wall mounted stuff I do, I have set up on French cleats. So I take my finished French cleat and I stick it behind here and just have it kind of relaxing there while I hang it on my display. So I have this right here, this one right here. I just have them set up with blue tape, and I hang it right here. And I just put this right here because it doesn't have a lot of space. And I'm going to put the last one up behind the center. Alright, so I'm going to show you the beginnings of my display. So I have one rack here. This is for my cutting boards. Put this back here. This back here. Okay. This is for my charcuterie boards. They go over here. And pop that behind there. Now I'll set it up so you get a rough idea of what I've got. I'm not going to pull everything out, but a couple of charcuterie boards. Some of these wine caddies. Put some of these out. My last big cutting board right there. Candlesticks right here. Another cutting board right here. So now I'm gonna set up a few cards. I'll put my cards right up here. And I have a little greenery that I add to it to kind of liven it up a little bit. Liven it up, make it look a little nice. You can put some flowers on here as well. Okay. Then I don't know if people can demand it from me, so I set my Venmo code, and then you put your Venmo code right here in the center. And now I just take this, my leftover stuff, and I can stuff it under. Okay, I have a couple more things I'm gonna grab. All right, this is pretty close to what it is. I added a couple birdhouses, and I have a spare chair because I'm also trying to sell this bench. Okay, so I stuffed this underneath. I'm just gonna put it aside for now. You know, I have a little stove cover. So next thing I want to talk to you about is things to bring with you that are good to have while you're at your show. And I have a little box that I also bring that's full of all my goodies to make sure I'm set up for the show. So inside here, I have some paperwork, some invoices, notepad, scissors, my cards, labeling stuff, pens. This is pretty good to have just behind your display so you can access it at any point in time. Okay. Now inside of here, I have an extra set of tablecloths in case if I have any kind of disaster. Okay, I think that's a good thing to have. Now, I got my screw gun, I got miscellaneous screws, I got little things to put on my display if I want, little decorative things. Now, I bring a cedar shim with me in case the floor isn't level and my display wants to move around. I got, you know, other little pieces of wood to do that, an extra rack. I bring tape. Tape is very important. Tape is very important because everything I do is with a French cleat. You know, I don't know if I said it already, but I got you know, kind of a crappy box of screws in here, just enough to set up, and then I have my screw gun in here, but that's usually in my shop. I just take it when I leave. Now, I have this bag here, which has paper bags. I got some paper towels, newspaper, just newspaper to wrap items if I sell it. I think this is a good thing to have too, and in my market, they really like the recycled stuff, so if you have this kind of stuff kicking around and you reuse the bags, they really like it. So I think that's a pretty good setup I have. Now I can just take this, stick it under my table, and then I have my bags under here as well. So everything looks all right. You have a pretty good idea of my wares now. And basically, if you guys have any suggestions of what I should carry, I think that would be appreciated. I'm just trying a little bit of everything. You know, I'm going to have some more wood turnings and stuff like that. Maybe a few more birdhouses. Cutting boards, I have a pretty decent back stock. And charcuterie boards, I have that kind of stuff pretty locked down. I have like little rustic country stuff that I was suggested to build by that guy, Michael Peach. He kind of gave me the idea of doing that. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with it. So this is going to be my first time going to this show. I did one other show earlier this year with the same display, but this is a little bit of an improvement on what that was. So I'm thinking I got a pretty decent display. So I'm going to go do the show, and I'll show you a couple little highlights from that, and I'll give you some of my reaction to doing the show and tell you how it went for me. Well, I'm back from the show, and I forgot to mention a couple other things that you probably need. All right, I have my square strip because you need to be able to take cards. I have a Venmo, like that little box I was showing you earlier. I also have a PayPal for them to be able to pay me. Some people might have other ways to take payment, and also cash. And you also have to have, you know, different ways on how to give change, you know, like 5s and 10s and 20s and stuff. You know, I don't really need ones because I'm not going to be selling something for $1 or in odd increments. It's going to be like $5 increments. But so I'll tell you how the show went. I didn't make any sales on bigger items. I basically just sold a couple candlesticks, and I basically paid my table back, which was all right. But it was good to get out to this new show. And this show, I think I'm going to actually have to come up with some new products for the show. I'm going to keep on having my cutting boards and some of my other miscellaneous stuff. But I think jewelry boxes and, jewelry accessories will be really good there, because there's a lot of jewelry manufacturers at this place. So I'm going to keep jewelry in mind in the future. Well, thank you very much for watching. And if you have some input on what other stuff I should carry, I'd really like to have an idea on it. Maybe some games or something like that. Make some games for people to play. Low-end stuff or even high-end stuff. All right, thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Hey, and don't forget to check out my Instagram, which is Sawdust Club Woodworking, _ between each of them, and keep track on what I'm actually making in my shop. Thank you very much. Have a good day.